Morning. It's not even morning, is it? I don't even know what time it is. God, it's not. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, Sunday the of May 15th. So I didn't work yesterday, which was nice. I did do a little bit, but I didn't have to. It was the first Saturday in like forever that I've been able to not properly work on a Saturday. I'm working today. Hi, Jess. But I'm cross today. I'm really fucking furious. And not because we didn't win Eurovision. Glory to Ukraine. I know that Sendi's Tribunal are on their knees at the moment. I know that the whole process needs to be reformed. I know that they're desperately under-resourced, understaffed. I know the number of tribunals and appeals that are being lodged are too many for them to measure and to manage. And in the past 3 months, I have had tribunals adjourned and vacated with hardly any notice. And Jess, this is it. I've just had a case, and you will know this case when I tell you that it's wow. And we're due to be in tribunal a week tomorrow. It's a really complicated case for a PDA young person who has been out of school forever, who is not on roll anywhere, and they've just adjourned her hearing until October. That plan, there was a reassessment of need in July 2021 when she was determined as unfit to attend by CAMHS. She was signed off. She's not on roll anywhere. She hasn't been in full-time education. She hasn't been able to access an educational setting at all since she started in school, like with any consistency. The family are doing all they can to support this child, but this is probably one of the most tinderbox cases I've ever been involved with, in that this child, they're doing all they can to support this child, but she has no provision, and she has never had suitable provision. And I'm fucking furious that a reassessment of need was granted in July. The final plan was finally issued in November after much pushing and backwards and forwardsing. The local authority have been woefully inadequate in their provision for this child. There's been so much parent blame. There's been so much gaslighting. They've lodged formal complaints against our professionals with their governing body. And the tribunal have just kicked this family in the teeth by vacating the hearing and pushing it back to October. And I'm furious. And it's not okay. So, yes, reform is needed. I mean, really, actually, resourcing is needed. If local authorities were making the provision that they needed to make, we would not have so many families in tribunal. We would not have so many families needing to lodge appeals. It's not the family's faults that local authorities don't fulfil their legal responsibilities to make suitable full-time provision in line with the special educational needs of our children. That's not families' faults. Like, ultimately, it's the Tory government fucking us over again. But it's local authorities not doing what they are legally required to do. And it's not Lambeth. I'm not going to say which LA it is. It's one in the north. But it's, there's this whole rhetoric from within the Sen Tribunal saying, oh, well, too many families are appealing. Too many families are using the tribunal process to try and get provision for their children. Yes, we are, because we have to. Because there's no accountability. There's no resourcing. There's no child-led approach as standard across the board for local authorities. There's no accountability. There's no recourse. You know, the best chance you've got is that you go to local government ombudsman. And I've got a case with the government ombudsman at the moment for my son who was out of school for 2 years. I lodged it with the ombudsman in July. I've just got a draft ruling and I've had to go back and say, actually, your ruling's inaccurate and here's why. Like, it's obscene. It's obscene how terribly our education system lets our children down. It's obscene how disadvantaged our disabled children are because of the inadequacies of the systems that are supposed to protect us. It's disgusting. And disabled children and their families are suffering. This is not just an inconvenience. This particular family, that child, is in significant danger of considerable extended damage to their mental health. And the family are at risk of, like, the only reason the wheels haven't come off for that family in an absolutely monumental way is because of the resilience and the tenacity and the sheer legendary warrior spirit that that mother has. And it's not okay. It's not okay that we have to. It makes me so cross. It makes me so cross that we do all we can to support families, and we work so hard with the families at great cost to them, and it's significant emotional and mental cost to us as advocates, and the system just goes, nah, we're not gonna look at it until October now. It's not okay. And so, yes, there absolutely is the need for a SEN review. There absolutely is the need for a new green paper. But the idea that we need to make it harder for families to bring cases to tribunal is abhorrent. Because in the middle of all of this, we have children and young people who are not getting the education that they need. Disabled children and young people at home without any support, without any education, without any provision, and families desperately trying to hold it together for those children and young people. And we're sitting on a ticking time bomb here, waiting for something really horrific to happen to one of these children. And it frightens the shit out of me. And I know that myself and other advocates and families are terrified and feel so helpless and powerless that we can't do more for these families, and that our very best is still not enough because the system is stacked against us. Yeah, like Jess says, why a SENDist not pushing back on local authorities? Why does it come down to us? And, you know, this is why I find this process so traumatizing, because it takes me back to where we were. And this is why I do the work that I do, because I want to try to support families who are experiencing what we were experiencing. But it's so hard. And it just, you know, days like today, you just think, do you know what? I want to leave the planet. Like, not in that way. No longer suicidal, thank God. But it's just so unfair. And it's our children that are paying the price. With their mental health, with their well-being, with their education, with their family relationships. You know, if local authorities aren't paying for it in cash, then families are paying for it in trauma. And I'm seeing it played out over and over and over again. And I know that myself and other family advocates feel so helpless. so helpless. So, you know, and I've got a really good team of incredibly talented advocates and professionals who I can draw on, who, you know, I message them on a Sunday and say, you're not going to believe this. And they say, right, what a load of bullshit, but these are our options. And like, they're pretty limited, our options. There's not a lot we can do if senders decide to vacate a hearing and push it back to October. But how in anyone's mind that can be acceptable when we've got a child who will then have had 2 birthdays since a reassessment of need was granted. 2 birthdays. And I remember speaking to her mum before her last birthday, and her mum saying to me, do you think this will be sorted for her birthday? And me saying, if we're lucky. But I can't make you any promises. I certainly didn't think then that it would be after her next birthday that this would be resolved. When you're 7 years old, 2 birthdays is a big portion of your life. It's horrific. There's no other word for it. It's horrific. And like Gail says, it's not the law, it's not the code of practice, it's not the disability regulations that are bad. It's the local authorities undermining the law and not opening their eyes to how wrong things are at a local level. And it's the underfunding, it's the under-resourcing, it's a decade of Tory power cutting education budgets, bringing our local authorities financially to their knees, prioritising Brexit over the well-being of our own children. You know, and if you don't think it's political, then you're not paying attention. It's disgusting. I can't even. And when I first started doing this work, I said, I know that I could campaign, but I want to make a difference to families right now. I want to be the person that I needed when we were going through this. And I had those people. I had Jess Kane. I was very fortunate. But I want to be that person to families because I know that when you're in the middle of it, knowing that reform is coming doesn't help you on a day-to-day basis. And so I started doing the work that I do to support families in the moment. And it's so hard to feel like that's not enough. And this isn't about me and my feelings. It isn't. But and this isn't me asking you to affirm me either. I just feel like such a failure that I can't do more for these families because we're up against such a fucked up system. And we're all so tired and we're all so exhausted. And we're all trying our hardest to protect the disabled children that we're gathering around and trying to protect and make a safe place for. And some days it just feels like it's not enough. And today is one of those days. And I've got a tribunal for a family tomorrow who I really need to prep and prioritise, and I will, you know. And I'm really confident that tomorrow will go the way we need it to. We've done all we can. But my God, this makes it really hard to keep going. And on a personal level, like this is a personal thing, because tribunals are extremely traumatic for me personally, and I've realised that going through these tribunals re-traumatises me every time. And it re-traumatises my child, who I've just seen has messaged me and saying, "Are you okay?" Because he knows that I'm live on Facebook crying. And so I'd made the decision that after this batch of tribunals, I wasn't going to do any more tribunals. I'd find ways to support families that didn't put me back in that position for this reason. And that is a big decision, because I feel like I'm letting down people. But I can't keep doing this. And so I'd made that decision that I was going to put support systems in place that would help people, but I wouldn't go to tribunal because of this. Because of the toll it takes on me personally and my family. And it means that I can't help people. More people. And so I'd made that decision. So my final tribunal is scheduled for June. Well, now it isn't. It's scheduled for October. And I won't let that family down. Like, I won't. They will have me as long as they need me. Like, there's no question that I'm abandoning that child. No way. But I was really looking forward to a new chapter from June, a way to really focus my efforts to help more people in a more practical, valuable, useful, powerful way. You know, and I just feel it so keenly for these families that we're all trying our very hardest and we get tripped over, tripped up. So wrong. My kid comes down, loves my Peter Pan dress. Thanks, it's got pockets. Oh, thanks, Jennifer. Thank you, Roberta. Don't get me wrong. I'm always grateful for people telling me I'm a wonderful human. I'll take it. Like, that works for me. I love languages, words of affirmation. No, it's not a Popsy dress. It's a Carolina dress room dress. And I love their frocks. I'm just going to look at the... I don't even know if I can read the comments because it's people sharing their own experiences, and I'm going to just let other people read it if that's okay, because I can't. And it makes me so cross that it does this to me, that it, like, I want to be stronger for my families. And I've got really, really good support network, really good. And my mental health is better than it's been for a long time, you know. I'm forged in fire, me. Like, physically I'm fucked, don't get me wrong. Can't really walk to the corner shop, I need a walking stick. But mentally, somehow, my super incredible neurodivergent brain has done some forging of new pathways and I can manage it. But I really wish if I could choose, I wouldn't choose this. I wouldn't choose this for me. I wouldn't choose this for my families. I wouldn't choose this for my family. It shouldn't be this hard. It's not okay that it's this hard. It's not okay. You know, the thing that I find probably the very hardest is that it really challenges my core beliefs. And my core beliefs, I was raised to believe, maybe my mum didn't intend this, but I was raised and I developed a core belief around good people, things work out for them in the end. And if you work hard, it will come good. And, you know, good things happen to good people. I mean, the privilege of that core belief is not lost on me. But I was kind of raised to believe that if there's injustice and you fight it, you can make a difference. And days like today, it feels like that's not true. And that's really hard. It's really hard to feel like we're not making, oh, snot bubble, we're not making enough of a difference. It's really, really hard. God, this has really got to me much more than I thought it had, actually. I just wanted to come and have a rant about how pissed off I was about it, but it's really upset me. We need to go and process some emotions. Need to go and do the polar bear thing. You know, the polar bears shake out their trauma. Did you know that? Need to do that. Oh. For fuck's sake. Anyway, why am I sharing this? So that I don't internalize it. So that I put it somewhere other than in the ears of my partner, who already is an emotional punch bag for me. Christ. Yeah. We have to find a better way. We have to find a better way. I mean, I also do have, here we go, let's turn this round. All of that is valid. This isn't a but, this is an and. All of that is totally valid. The system is fucked. Families are fucked on a daily basis. It's not okay. And fundamentally, I do believe in the power of the human spirit. I do believe that human beings are incredibly resilient creatures. And I do believe that we all have the power within ourselves to keep on keeping on. And to make a difference in the places where we have power over that. And it's really hard. Those things are not mutually exclusive. This isn't about trying to mindset our way out of it. This isn't about trying to pretend that, you know, this isn't like an every cloud. It's fucking bullshit, and we're fucking incredible. Yeah. Jesus. Sorry about all the swears, everyone. I'm not sorry. It's part of my standard vocabulary. People who follow me know to expect the swears. Jeez. I also really wish I hadn't drunk a bottle of red wine whilst watching Eurovision yesterday, because my brain might be a little less fuzzy and I might be a little less emotional this afternoon. But there you go. It is what it is. Holy heck. Holy heck. So, yeah. Don't really have any more words. not going anywhere. I'm not going to stop trying to make a difference. In the same way that I know every parent of a child with additional needs is not going to stop trying to make a difference for their kids. In the same way that I know that the system is probably not going to stop fucking us over. And I really wish it was just a bit easier. Maybe at some point it might be. No one said it was easy, but no one said it would be this hard. Fuck. Hello. Yeah. Gin through a straw and lay on your spiky mat. I actually need to go and do some work on a case file for tomorrow's tribunal. I'm nearly done. I just want to make sure that I've really got my head in the game for tomorrow. But I'm thinking I might have a bath first. Have a bath. Cry in the bath. Fixes everything, right? Maybe I'll have a bath and an orgasm, and then maybe that might help. Get myself back in my body. Dear me. Local authorities have driven me to requiring mains adapted equipment to achieve that. You know, having a stress all day when all the lights in the street flicker. Because I've got my mains wand plugged in, ranked up to 12. I will process this trauma. I will. Oh, hi, my name's Heidi. I overshare, by the way. Oh, crikey. Oh. Anyways. I have a headache. I'm going to go and drink some tea. Eat something sweet. Have a bath. After that, I won't give you a blow-by-blow description of what might happen after that or what might not. Like, I'm not going to leave you with that. Brain bleach required. Oh, God. Okay, onwards. Onwards! Warrior parents assemble. Let's do this. I'll see you all soon. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a day. Hope you have a day. Whatever that day needs to be like for you, I hope you have a day. I shall be finding my humans when they arrive later and making them lie on me in a not sexual way. I need some human blanket, that's what I need. Enjoy the buzz. Sending good vibration. Do not all start sending me sex toys, by the way. Don't. Thanks. I appreciate the gesture, but thanks. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. Right, I'll see you all later. Have a day. Bye.